Okay, welcome to Chaos and Coffee. My name is Justin Brown. This is episode 32. Today we have Vertex Draco in the house. Just the two of us. We're talking about daylight savings time. We have it. Britain has it, but on a different day. So
Yeah, completely different day. Not just sort of. Well, to be honest, I don't even know when it is. Yeah, I just get told at some random point, "Oh, change your clocks." I'm like, "Oh, okay then." I never really keep track of it, but it's not around now. Like I don't know. It's some completely different month or something. I don't really keep track of time.
yeah, we have spring forward, fall back, and it's I don't know. It's something that harkens back to the old farming days, like when America was very much agricultural, which we still are, but very much an agricultural type society, and now we're not so much. And so it's I don't know, it's kind of silly that we have electric lights, dude. Like, why do we have daylight saving? Really,
Yeah. It does kind of bother me when they're just like, oh, let's just randomly change the times, like just the hours in the day just magically change. I'm like, why can't you just, I don't know, just get the calendar right, change the amount of hours in the day, or just keep it as it is, change the days or something. I don't know anything. Just swap something around, like get your house in order.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really confusing. I don't know. You gotta understand. America is literally using a measurement system that I think ourselves and one South American country uses. Like, we use the old imperial system that you guys don't even use anymore.
Well, it depends who you're talking to. That we have like a combination of measurement systems that we use and weight and stuff, because we'll use miles and pints, but like when it comes to measurements, like we'll be using like centimeters but not inches, and it just is. It's just a mess. Like when I'm at the hairdresser as well, and I'll say I just want it like an inch or something on top, and the hairdresser I've come across so many hairdressers that don't know what an inch is. Like, and it just makes me feel old. I'm like, just an inch, like like your thumb. Like, what? How can you not know what an inch is? And they're like this, like this.
Yeah, that's
why
rough.
I just stay into the same one to cut my hair like over and over again.
I've been watching a barber out of Britain called I should know their name. It's like Rogues or something like that.
I don't know.
They're down in London, and they're kind of famous for dealing with beards and male hair products and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I should look it up real quick just because I name dropped for a second. But the reason I watch them is there's a channel on YouTube called Beard Brand. And they go there a lot, and they go to Britain a lot. And they get these, because they have really good barbers over there,
Yeah, to maintain facial hair and stuff. I never go to barbers, actually. I don't know why. I don't like males cutting my hair, really.
See, I'm the exact opposite. Like, it's called the Gentlemen and Rogues Club, down in Poole, Dorset. Okay. Anywho, like, I don't like, it's not like I prefer it or anything. I just find that men can cut men's hair better than women tend to. Like, don't get me wrong. I've gone to hairstylists when I had long hair, and especially when I was a kid or when I was in the military. But
that might be what it is. That when I was younger, I did usually have longer hair, and I had it sort of styled in really weird, sort of wacky kind of ways. And barbers generally, it's just like I'll just shave it, right? Just cut it to this length and that's it. And
yeah.
It was always too simplistic for my taste. And there's an interesting difference, when they're washing your hair between between males, females, and gay guys, because generally when girls will wash your hair, they're kind of like, it's as if they're attacking something. It's almost as if like you've wronged them in some way, and they're taking it out on your hair. And I've never had a normal guy, straight guy, wash my hair, so I wouldn't know about that. But gay guys, they don't. I don't know. They're a lot more gentle. They don't attack your head like it's something to be killed or something. They're not taking their day's stress out on you.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. That's been my experience anyway.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's something about we were talking about a bit, female aggression and the way female aggression is kind of covered up. Like, you want to talk about like some privilege, right? Female aggression, is a real privilege. A woman can, for instance, let's say, throw a drink in a bar.
Oh,
and
God, yeah.
And they're probably just going to escort her out of the bar. If a man threw a drink in the bar, he'd probably be arrested. That's assault. Like, that's uncalled for. Women are allowed a lot of, and maybe rightfully so. Maybe due to the condition that women live in, when they do blow up, when they do let out the aggression, it's kind of forgiven more easily.
I think it's more of a historical thing, really, because I think it comes from when women were more like ladies, and they acted like women, and if they sort of like, they wouldn't usually have outbursts. It was usually sort of contained and sort of pushed down. And then I don't know what they do with it or whatever, but they talk about it with their friends or whatever.
No, they wash the hell out of male hair. They just that's what they do. That's one of the tactics.
Yeah, it sort of seeps out in indirect ways, you could say. But I think those days are mostly gone. Like, women aren't expected to behave in a certain way. It's more of a choice now. They can either act more traditional, or they can sort of just express themselves more. So I think, I think it's just clinging on to something from the past, I guess. But to me, I don't know, that this should act. This is probably going to sound really bad, but they should act like a traditional lady if they want to be treated like a traditional lady. Otherwise, it should just be equal treatment across the board, really, because otherwise it's a privilege unearned.
Right. I agree with you a lot. The problem I find, hold on, echo.
I'll put my headphones on.
No worries. It's just, we'll talk about this at some other point. It's like almost impossible to think about the next thing you say when you hear yourself saying something.
Yeah. I worked in a call center for a period of time, and like whenever I got an echo, I couldn't even speak. I couldn't get to the next word.
Yeah.
I'd say one word and then stop and be like,
I was just going to say, like, depending on how people identify, I think we should treat them, right? Like, if somebody wants to be just one of the boys or one of the guys, and they're, I've had a few lesbian friends like this who are literally, they want to be one of the guys. That's why they chose. I mean, like, that's the life they live, like they're basically one of the dudes. And, you go out drinking, or you have fun and you have conversations that are very much the same as if it would just be a bunch of guys hanging out, because that's how they identify. But yeah, if somebody, especially a female, identifies as you know, a lady. And I hate to say that because lesbians can be ladies too, but you know what I'm saying, like a traditional woman mindset, right?
Yeah. It doesn't really come down to the sexual preferences, really. It comes down to the way that they act, the way that they put themselves forward.
Yeah, what they represent to the world.
Yeah. I get that it can be sort of awkward or confusing, sort of applying that in any sort of realistic way if you don't know the person. Like if it's someone that you know, it makes sense. But if you don't know what to expect from that person, then you're not really going to know sort of how to interact with them. So yeah, like I'd always encourage to treat people as individuals, but to a certain extent, to whatever extent it's possible, you should treat someone as an individual rather than the group that they belong to, I think. But to some level, you do need to assume some things before, up until the point that you know them. Like one of my best friends for the longest time has been, as you described, like a more sort of tomboyish type girl. So I understand. Yeah, a lot of my friends are like that actually. So, right.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely based on an individual, and then also I think it's really important to recognize that people can switch modes. You know, a person can be really traditional in some regard, and yeah, again, men or women, but yeah, on an individual basis, a person could have a very traditional mindset in some regards, or like, you know, like let's say they go out to dinner, and the woman might wear a dress while out to dinner, but at work she wears pantsuits. You know what I'm saying? And then on the weekend she fights MMA.
That would be an interesting person to meet, I guess. Like it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to meet someone like that, to see how I don't know if there's any sort of cognitive dissonance, the wrong word, but that's the only word that I can think of.
I think there's a switch. Like, there might be a little bit of cognitive dissonance when they have to interact with people in those different areas. But I think the ability for us, like any human really, to switch, I'm gonna say switch gears, but in the linguistics world, it's called schema. Like to go between one schema and the next schema. I'll spell it in chat. It's a good word for philosophy and psychology. So there's a script for every schema. Like when you're ordering food is a good example, or you're with one person or with another person. There's these different schemes that your brain automatically adapts to and adopts. And then we have, I apologize. We have scripts that go along with those, like, you know, the set of dialogue options for our NPC brains, you know?
Yeah.
You know, it's why we don't have genuine conversation with like when we're ordering food, you know what I'm saying? Or something like that. We have a very procedural dialogue that occurs between us and somebody we're ordering food from. Whereas if we're doing right now or sitting on a couch somewhere or whatever, the conversation is much more free range, wide open, you know,
casual. Yeah, you'd hear that. You'd hear it in the call center quite a lot. Way back in the day, like it's soul destroying work. By the way, like if anyone for some reason is thinking or has the opportunity to get into that line of work, don't do it. But
any call center, not just you know,
any call center at all in any capacity is soul destroying. But you'd hear people, you'd be mid-sentence because you'd just be sat there talking to each other, like in between calls or whatever, and and you'd be talking about something, it'd be casual, and then midway through the sentence, bearing in mind you can't hear anything, you're just watching them, and then all of a sudden it's like something just clicks, and then they just they put on this different voice, they start to sit differently, like the way that they're speaking, they're acting, everything just all of a sudden changes. They sort of put their phone voice on. I guess not just in call centers. Some people, when they do answer the phone, they have like a phone voice or whatever, but I've never really had that that switch. I generally just I kind of talk to people the same regardless of what setting I was in. So
Right on. Welcome to Darth Tux.
Hola, hola, amigos.
Right on.
So,
God, I don't even know how to title what we were just talking about. We were talking about how people interact differently in different environments. How people switch between schemas, or they switch their script based on the environment they're in.
Yeah, that was a topic I used to have quite a bit when I was in the DID communities, about how everybody is really has multiple personalities to some extent. And that was the argument that was usually used.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, like multiple different sort of masks, I guess, like your public mask and your
private or casual.
Yeah. But mine's generally the same. I have memory problems, and I'm kind of lazy as well. I find it a lot easier just to be straight honest and just be consistent throughout, because then I don't need to remember things and think too much.
I just try to be genuine and just be me.
The most I'll do is I'll put a filter up. If I'm in certain environments, I won't go out of my way to insult people. But even though that I am a free speech absolutist, I don't think any words should be excluded from your vocabulary. But depending on what environment I'm in, I'll generally kind of rein it back in a little bit, depending on who I'm around. So yeah, it's the most I do, I guess. But
yeah,
I don't think
I think I do that to a certain extent, in that there's certain subjects or whatever that I won't discuss with particular people.
Yeah, it's generally family members a lot of the times.
Yeah, mostly family.
So,
yep.
Don't want to bring shame on the family.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's funny the way families are.
Well, I just don't want to upset anyone in the family. I mean, I love these people, and I don't want to see them upset, whether it's by something I said or something that anyone else said.
Oh yeah.
Well, for me, it's not so much that I don't want to upset them. It's not even that I don't want to get the blowback. The problem is I won't get told off for it. My dad will get told off for it, or my mum will get told off for it.
Oh yeah, so that's just not cool.
Yeah, so I'll basically, like, if I insult someone or if I do something wrong, it's not me that's gonna get in trouble. It's someone else, and I don't like. I don't know. I'd rather it go to me. If the burden was just falling to me, I probably wouldn't care so much. But when that sort of burden is falling on someone that I don't want it to, that looks after me and that sort of stood by me, no matter how sort of malicious and evil I got when I was a teenager, they never sort of like abandoned me, no matter how bad I got. Yeah, I can't sort of put that burden on them, really. So
my biggest one is my sister. We are total exact polar opposites. I don't care. You name an issue, we're on the opposite ends of the fence. So I find myself inadvertently, hurting her feelings or whatever, you know, just out of something that I said, or even things that I own a lot of times. You know, so I just try to be real careful when I'm with her and try to, yes, sister, no sister. You know? I mean, I love her to death, don't get me wrong, man. I'd take a bullet for the girl, but yeah, we never have seen eye to eye on anything.
It's kind of like that with my friends. Most of my friends, I don't really have all that many people that agree with me on many things. My beliefs generally are sort of on the outside. I'm kind of like the outsider when it comes to beliefs or philosophy or politics, you know, anything really. But generally, I just don't care. Like I'll put my viewpoint. I'll put my viewpoint forward, and then they'll put theirs forward. But I don't sort of shove it down people's throat. I'm not like, oh well, you should believe how I believe. And if I don't agree with them a lot of the times, yeah, just kind of leave it there. Unlike what I'm like on the internet, is the complete opposite. But yeah,
right. Yeah, when I'm on the internet and I make a statement or something, I typically I don't care what anybody else has to say about it, because to me it's just words on a computer screen. You know, so you can get up there and slander me and insult me and whatever all you want to. I don't care. It's entertainment to me. That's all.
Yeah, I do. Like on the internet, it's more exaggerated. Like whatever's going through my mind, I'll exaggerate. I exaggerate it to some level. There's some times where I'll take the opposite viewpoint to what I have, and the person that I'm arguing with, I'll essentially put them in the position of them defending my point. Yeah, so I can sort of see holes in my own sort of arguments, and so I can see things from another person's perspective. Yeah, I guess that's kind of trolly, but yeah, I've always been somewhat of a troll on the internet.
That's a really good way to refine your rhetoric, though.
Yeah, it's my personality type as well. I'm an ENTP, the sort of debater type that just does it for the fun of it. But I don't do it so much anymore. It's mostly sort of unnecessary stress. Just I like having discussions with people and sort of exploring ideas, because then at least it feels like you both walk away sort of more fulfilled, or more enlightened. You could put it. That would be a better way of putting it.
I've always felt that the truth lies somewhere in the middle between any debate.
Yeah, that's why I don't like debates, though, because in a debate, you'll go in there defending one side, and if you agree with any point from the other person's side, you've essentially conceded your point and lost. And it's kind of like almost a sport. And it can be fun if you've got the tolerance for it, but my tolerance eventually just faded away from it. So it's a discussion or just a simple conversation it's more fulfilling to me, so long as the person's open enough.
Well, me, it depends on who I'm having the discussion with. I mean, if they're an open-minded individual that allows themselves to be a bit flexible in what they believe and what they think, then yeah, I have no problem with it. Because I'm that kind of person. I can be a little flexible. I can, I don't have any necessarily, belief that I hold real firm to. Mm-hmm. So if you're not that same kind of person, you're just going to sit there and continue arguing the same point and refuse to grow, really is what it is. And understanding or whatever, then I don't really have time to, even be having the discussion.
For me, like, I think that was probably the wrong way of putting it. Because I don't really care so much about them being open-minded. It's more so long as they don't attack my beliefs, because I have sort of spoke to people with pretty close-minded views with some pretty hateful beliefs. And I don't particularly care. And like, if they put something forward and, do you hate this or this group of people? I'm like, no, not really. And but then I'll leave it at that. Yeah, but then I'll be interested to see their sort of perspective. So I can talk to people that are closed-minded, the sort of like really hateful type people. I don't really see an issue with it. This comes to the free speech thing again, I guess, and the this is probably going to be bad, but yeah, I don't really care if people are racist or sexist. It doesn't, as long as they're not causing physical harm on someone, especially someone that's close to me. I don't care really. Like, you can hate people for arbitrary reasons. I mean, I grew up in school being bullied, and if it wasn't your race, then it was your weight. If it wasn't your weight, it was your height. And if it wasn't your height, it was your hair color, or the fact that you wore glasses, or people would always find a reason to hate you. So to take certain sort of, these things, these are you can't have these beliefs, and if you do, then we're gonna sort of equal your hatred, and we're gonna hate you with the same sort of zeal that you hate others with. That doesn't really make sense to me. I don't think it's a big deal, to be honest. It just
I agree with you there, and I would even go further to say that I enjoy my free speech. I enjoy being able to go online or go out in public or whatever and say it the way that I see it. So in that, I can't demonize somebody else just because their beliefs or whatever is different than mine. I may not like it, and it may be hateful, and I may see it as harmful, but hey, if I want my free speech, I have to give you yours too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You can't have it just one way and say, oh, we're going to have free speech in this country, but you can't say anything, that knocks religion or the Jewish people or whoever, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, then you don't have free speech then. And you
right.
don't deserve it.
Yeah.
I think a good way to counter hate, I think a good way to counter hate is to be a little bit trollish. I'm going to use a close at-home example, right? My dad was in prison. And so in prison, you have to join a group. It's just one of those things you have to do, right? And it's very much based on your skin color or your ethnicity, right? So my dad is from Oklahoma. He's like half Irish, half Cherokee or something like that. We'll know soon when the genetic tests come in. Ancestry.com. Get your DNA test today. We are not sponsored. However, I'm not even mentioning the right product. Okay. So we got these genetic tests from the grandma, right? And we're going to spit into them. And my dad's like Native American and some form of Irish, blah, 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 right? Yeah. And so in prison, they were like asking him, like, what are you, man? And you try to tell him, like, I'm Native American and I'm white. And so like the white gang would try to like recruit him in with this like very much what is hate ideology, like white supremacy, right? And so now that even though he's out of prison, right, he still watches, especially now that he found out what YouTube is. God, my dad watches a lot of. Let's just put it this way: my dad could probably teach a college class in the Third Reich at this point. You know what I mean? He watches a lot of shit about guys with black leather boots and tanks. You know what I mean? Like watches a lot of that stuff, and he tries to talk to me about it, right? And a lot of hate speech starts out very innocuous, oh, these damn globalists, and then that globalist is a catchphrase for Jews, right? Okay, or Zionists, and that's a catchphrase for Jews or whatever, right? And so I have to nip it in the bud real quick because he's my dad, and I don't want to have a conversation with him for 45 minutes about hate, or disparaging a certain group. And so I go, Dad, but don't you love bagels? Like whatever they hate, right? Whatever group they hate, right? Like build a wall. Well, dude, what about the enchiladas, bro? Like have you ever had enchiladas? They're like beautiful.
Everybody loves tacos, man.
Everybody loves tacos. Don't get me wrong. Tacos are great. I love tacos. But I would fight a war for enchiladas. You know what I mean? Like it just make it absurd to the point where, like, yeah, if they disparage against Italian people or French people, just bring up some type of like Italian pasta or some French cuisine, and they're going to be like, oh yeah, but I like that stuff. Oh, so you do like their culture. You do like bagels. You know what I'm saying? You do like fried dumplings. If somebody's disparaging against Asians or whatever, just really bring up their food, dude. And that's almost the human unifier. Like, even if they don't like the people, they can't hate the people's food.
And it's using comedy and
oh yeah,
this is one of the biggest things that you can't get rid of hatred with more hatred. This is why I really don't like the sort of radical left, the alt left, or the social justice warriors, however you want to label them, because they're so they take something that on the surface seems good, but the way that they're very authoritarian with how they go about enforcing those beliefs, or that you should act this way, and they're if you listen to them, a lot of the times it comes from such a position of hatred rather than sort of acceptance or genuine curiosity about the other person's position or what brought them there in the first place. It's completely devoid of any empathy, which is kind of ironic coming from someone as cold as me. But yeah, it's so frustrating that and some people get it the wrong way as well, because even though that you should counter hatred with either comedy or kindness, some people do the reverse trolling thing, where on the surface they'll almost act as if they're being nice to you, but they're doing it in a sort of malicious way, like being condescending or sort of like talking down to you or something like that. You along those lines, or you just it's not good. It doesn't stop the person being as. It doesn't help the person in any way. You're essentially just doing the same thing as just yelling obscenities in the face. It's just that you're doing it politely.
Yeah, I don't think you should I don't. Well, okay. You know, every troll situation is different, kids. You know, and if you've got to be condescending, you know, allow me to present the counterpoint. I don't know. No, I get what you're saying. Honestly, like we're talking about, like, communication between individuals should be in the most earnest, honest fashion. People expressing themselves in a manner where they feel comfortable, right? However, when catchphrases are thrown around, or I get called a libretard, right, I have to launch into my spiritual armor, as the Bible would put it, right? And I protect myself from the assertions of the other side, whatever they may be. See, I'm moderate. I have two enemies. God bless all you people with one enemy. You people on the right who hate the left. Oh, God. They want to make laws that limit my freedoms, right? And then people on the left who hate the right because they're like, I don't want a white ethno state. No.
Yeah, you're talking about the extremes of both sides, really.
Those are my enemies online, though. Like, I'm a moderate, bro. I'm so in the middle of this shit, right? That I have to argue with both sides. Like, I don't know. I guess I don't have to.
It happens. It happens up until the point that you get to the extreme of whichever end of that left-right spectrum that you're on. Like, if you're on the right, but you're on the center right, or even sort of like somewhere like just I don't know, the traditional right, somewhere sort of like in this. I don't want to say center right. I can't think of the word, but not quite extreme right. But
we've gone there.
But yeah, you'll get people on the right if they don't believe in the ethno state. If they're what is it, alt light they call it, or like the where they don't think that the problem's race, but they think it's cultural. That they believe more in the culture. They'll basically get called a conservative. So it's not a it's not exclusive to the people that are moderate or in the center. Like other conservatives will get shit from people on the extreme right. Like, oh, well, you don't believe in an ethno state and all this crap. And it's like, well, no, I don't care what people's color is. I just don't want incompatible cultures like flooding into our culture, because then it dilutes it, and they don't want to assimilate in any way, and they won't even live alongside it in any sort of compatible way. It just everyone's gonna get shit no matter where they are until you get to one of those extremes, and then you'll have the sort of the one enemy, and then it's just everyone to this side.
Yeah, but the problem with those extremists are they're all the same.
Yeah, it's the logical conclusion.
The far left or the far right, we don't want those radical Muslims coming into our country, blah 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 blah, because whatever. But you know what? Those people are all the same. You want the same thing. You want everybody to live their lives and say and do and whatever exactly what you want them to. Regardless of what issue it is you're arguing about. You're all radicalized and you're all exactly the same. I don't care what the
ideology
radicalized difference is. Yeah, the ideology. Thank you.
To be honest,
this is the chart we're talking about, folks, ladies and gentlemen, watching this later on. We're at -2 viewers at this point. Okay, so this is a chart this is the chart we're talking, or this is the spectrum. Okay, and we're specifically referencing the left and right. I'm revealing a little bit about myself right now by showing you where I stand, or in the chart, based on surveys, right, or quizzes.
You can basically mirror that, and you'll get mine along the libertarian line. That's basically where I am. But I don't even think that the left versus right thing matters anymore. I think the important thing is the authoritarian versus libertarian, and it's why I get frustrated with other conservatives saying, "Oh, they're a libtard," and because the definition of liberal in America has kind of been perverted and twisted, and it doesn't really mean what it's supposed to mean. Is that they're not referring to classical liberalism. They're not talking about libertarian versus being an authoritarian or a collectivist, which is the main issues that I see. When you're talking about people along this libertarian line, no matter if they're on the sort of left or the right, generally they'll get along because we both believe in freedom. We might have different ideas about how society should be structured, but a lot of that's kind of irrelevant, and you can have a sort of civilized discussion about it. When it just ends up being a turd throwing competition is when the authoritarians
it becomes political.
No, it's when you're talking to the authoritarians. Really, these are the collectivists, the ones that don't believe in individual liberty. If you look in the sort of very top left, that very top left square, those are the radical social justice warriors, or the alt left, and anyone to the right of those are alt right Nazis.
There's a much better chart. I'm trying to find it right now, and I know I have it in my documents. It's just I can't. For some reason, I must have put it somewhere like super safe, or I must have put it somewhere where I thought it'd be funny to be. You know what I'm saying? Where I wouldn't lose it. I have a weird.
I've got one in my memes folder. It's basically that top left square.
Do you have the polyball one? Can you, if you have that one with the polyballs, I'd really that's what I'm looking for.
The polyball?
Yeah, where they're the funny little poly. Oh shit! It's so hard to even Google this thing. I know I have it saved somewhere. I just can't think of where the hell I have it saved at. And I'm in my pictures right now, so it's where would I have saved this thing?
I've got too many pictures to look through.
Dude, that's what I'm trying to do right now. Yeah. I've got a weird, I've got a very weird setup for my file structure because, I have a very weird file structure setup.
Yeah.
Let's just put it at that. I'll Google it real quick. It's a wonderful image that depicts the various political ideologies out there with a cartoon.
Oh, I know which one you're referring to. Yeah, the one I was thinking about basically has the sort of Antifa social justice warrior types in the top left, and the rest just say alt-right Nazi. Like the rest of the entire spectrum, like from the left to the center over to the right, and it's like how they see the world.
Because man, I want to find this so bad. I know I saved this image. I save it every single time I find it. That's what pisses me off. It's like if I could just remember where the hell I saved it, and I don't put it in pictures because that is such a big folder.
Yeah.
God, it's so funny though, dude. It's like the funniest one I've ever seen in my life, and it has the polyballs, like explaining each one of the ideologies, and God damn it, dude. You know what? It's probably my desktop. You know what? What am I doing? I'm sorry. Let me.
Ryan, wait, you put anything on your desktop?
No. I don't put anything. I put super important shit on my desktop, and then I hide my desktop with.
I put everything on my desktop and then move it wherever I need it after I'm done with it.
No, oh, there it is. See, I put super important stuff on my desktop, and then I hide my desktop with a program called Conky. Conky, kids. It's CONKY. I highly recommend using Conky because when you start doing graphical layouts in a program called Lua, or a program, writing a code, a language called Lua, you start realizing that you can do anything, kids. Okay, sorry, screen share. That's like for my one young viewer. Like,
do they even make Conky for Windows?
I'm not sure if they make Conky for Windows. It's a really lightweight. I'll show it later here. Okay, so this is This is it. Okay, this is the thing. Okay, you guys can see this. Good. I think.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna look at myself so I can tell. Yeah. Okay, you guys can definitely see this. I'm gonna zoom in here. Okay, let's just do this nice and slow. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna do it like we read. Okay, I'm gonna go left to right, top to bottom, right? Okay, so at the far left and the very top of authoritarianism, if you guys aren't recognizing this is communism. Okay?
Yeah.
And again, they say socialism won't work until every single place magically submits to it. Okay? And there's a fishing pole going down here, but we'll check that out here later. Okay, then you get like you're basically over here. This is the ethno-state communists. Okay, these guys are like right. They should be on the right, or they're whatever the fuck. They're basically guys who want communism, but they want communism as a ethno-state. I'd say these are probably the worst of the worst dudes, and they're not even saying shit. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Anyways, Bernie Sanders versus traditional socialist. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's in economics? Okay, so that's fun. Hitler, like literally Hitler in the middle, like just authoritarian as hell. They don't give a shit about the left or right economic structure. They're just down with the ethno-state, right?
Yeah.
A little bit over to the right, we have the white pride movement. Okay. I'm not Nazi. I'm pro-white, also ban race mixing. Okay, and then we have over here the extreme right, where it's basically the alt-right, okay? And this guy is basically exclaiming that someone didn't read the right classic liberalist, okay? Or whatever, whatever you want to call it. Like Pinochet is like a classic liberal. Anyways, read if you want to. Anyways, I'm not trying to tell people what to read and what not, but this guy's basically yelling this thing. I can't pronounce the name. You don't even worship whoever. What a cuck.
That's Pinochet.
Yeah, okay. You guys are Nazis. Okay, so here we go. Where are we? Okay, no, we can't be remiss. We can't forget the Democrats and the Republicans. Oh God, look how close those two are on the scale. Oh man, isn't that funny?
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah. Okay, then we have our friends that what we call the libertarians, right? Or like in American libertarians, okay?
So basically not libertarians.
I don't want to talk shit. My brother's one of these dudes. Okay, I really don't want to talk shit. I'm going to try to represent them the best I can, okay? They are constitutionalists, they believe in the Constitution, and they believe that we should uphold the Constitution more fairly than we are now. There are guys with guns. Let's just put it that way.
That sounds reasonable to me, to be honest.
They're guys with guns. When you trust me, when and if you come here, I'm just gonna say when you come here, okay? Eventually in the future, when you save up some money and you decide I'm going to the States, right? Probably 2020 or so, right? To be totally candid, you'll probably run into these dudes, or you'll run into these guys, and you'll probably have a lot of fun talking with them and shooting guns. They're not bad guys, okay? They're just
Oklahoma's filled with them. When you come here, I'll introduce
you.
you.
Yeah, it is. Oklahoma. Yeah, that's why I'm trying not to misrepresent.
Yeah. From what you, because I don't know what they're like.
It is funny. He's like, this means
really,
bullshit. I clearly belong in the purple. Okay.
Yeah, like from what you've just explained, it does belong in the purple. Maybe that's
yeah, I guess so. I don't know. It's pretty funny. It's just,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, they probably do. But okay, so Green Party. I'm not a socialist. I just care about the environment. There used to be this thing called like the Anonymous or like whatever. It used to be like this thing on the internet before there was like Facebook. Okay, so anyways.
Yeah, and they ruined it all for themselves. They cannibalized their own movement.
Literally infiltrated by government agents. That sold a movie from Warner Brothers just to track everybody through masks. Okay, so anyways.
People got greedy. That's what they wanted too much. They got like egotistical, and they wanted to start controlling everything. And then everyone, like, instead of uniting behind one idea, that's like, I know, let's try and focus on a gazillion things at once. Yeah.
Well, that's what happens when you have no centralized leadership.
Yeah, the reason is
who really want to get rid of your movement step in and take over the position of leadership and destroy everything.
It's because the moral fights took over. It was fine as it was in its original incarnation before it decided to start doing political things. They should have just stayed as the final boss of the internet, and it is still intact to this day.
It's great because now there's thousands of final bosses, and they all have cool names, like whatever. Okay, so
no, they're all mini bosses now. Instead of a final boss, you've just got lots of little like snotlings just running around.
Gobos. Okay, so
yeah, gobos.
Here we go. Let's move on though. Let's not stay on one party. But yeah, moving right of the memes, right? We have libertarians where they're like, dude, weed. You know what I mean? Like,
Lamau.
They're in the purple for sure. Okay, you have your classic liberals, hence the wig. And I actually have I have friends who are like African American, right? Kid you not.
Black? Do you mean? You know there are white people in Africa, right?
Okay, fair enough. There's black dudes that are my friends or my co-comedians, however they want to say it. My professional peer group, right?
Yeah.
Who are straight up in this group. Right? Like I was like, what? And he's like, oh yeah, wigs. I'm like, yeah, bro, I dig what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. Just you blew my mind when you just said that out loud. You know what I mean? But yeah, so these are classic liberals. What you guys would have in Britain as liberals, right? They exist here, but they're just very rare. But yeah, so same thing. He's like, you don't even read Adam Smith, right? Anyways. Okay, go Team Purple. They're the progressives. They're the porcupine. They're just they're the progressive party. Okay, so where are we at? Oh yeah. Okay, so way down here are the ANCAPs, right? You might see them in riots.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm very familiar with them.
Okay, we all are at this point. Again, I have friends. I should really say this. I have friends. Again, European Americans, white guys.
Fuck all of you.
I have to, dude. Okay, one of these weeks I have to have this guy on. I have to because he can represent this group fairly well, and you guys would have a great.
He'll be spreading his propaganda.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's all he's about. Yeah, leaflets, bro, leaflets. Okay, so the communists are looking for post-scarcity, right? Like that's what they're promising with this fishing pole. They're promising the ANCAPs. It's like some point everything will be 3D printed, bro. You'll 3D print all your food. So okay, so who's this? Oh, okay. fuck. These are like the freegans or the people who say they're like ANCAP. I can't remember what orange means exactly. I'm sorry, whoever the fuck you are, guy. The guy who sleeps on your couch and begs food from you. You know what I'm saying? So you still using that little green space there, bro? These are the confused ones, as I call them. The hello.
Represent?
It's anarcho minimalism. So like anarchy. Here we go. Hey, fellow libertarians, want to smash capitalism? And it's crossed out. And then it goes, I mean, support free markets. I gotta let my dog out. These guys they're like right there on the teetering point of being a libertarian on the left or right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like whatever's going on this week. You know, I'm not a fan. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Those are the people that have no real views or beliefs of their own. They just kind of go with whatever's the thing of the day.
It sounds.
My dog has to go outside, and I have a security system, so any internet trolls can come at me, bro. Okay.
Capitalism is freedom, basically, though.
You say capitalism is freedom? Okay, well, that'll be a future argument.
They're freedom to do whatever you want.
Shit, if you have the money to do so.
Provided you're ultra rich.
Yeah, provided you're ultra rich.
If you're not, capitalism doesn't work worth a shit.
But then you're not working effectively if you're not rich.
If you're in a capitalist society, it's not even about being rich. Like, believe it or not,
it's working smart, not even working hard. You need to work smart.
It's the inverted of rich. I'll get to that here. We can all get to that here in a second. Let's just finish out these characters, right? Yeah. Funny little cartoon. Because really, like, people who are in a lot of debt are actually higher up in the Western world than people who have money. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Bless you. Okay. Black markets matter. So these are fucking criminals. I'm being like, what? Okay. Anyways. Okay. It's been 6 months, mini arc ball. So get your ass down here. And so that's what they're saying to this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's been 6 months. Get your ass down here. Okay. And then my personal two favorites, and I hope everybody can see these. I'm not zooming in too far. Okay. Okay. So down here we have individualism. Okay. And ego. Okay. So
they wanted to be special, so they decided not to be on the scale at all.
They're not even on the scale. They're not even on the scale. One is do your own thing. The dark blue one, right? The one that's saying they're being spooked, son. Right? Okay. Is completely off the fucking charts. They go by their own whim. Like, it's absolutely liberal. Yeah, absolutely. If you have the ability to do so, do so. Or if you want to, go ahead. I mean, as long as you're not hurting anybody, and that's an old rule. Do you know what I'm saying? That's like a universal, all religions, all philosophies say generally don't harm people. You find very few philosophies that are like, yeah, go ahead and harm people. It's cool.
Do as thou will, but harm none.
Yeah, harm none. And then this one's basically the offspring of the egotistical ideology or egotistical anarchy, which is individual anarchy. And literally the philosophy, like the philosophical offspring of this egotistical anarchy is this individualist anarchy. So basically, like, again, do what you want to do if you can. So like, if you could 3D print your food, go ahead. If you can, that's pretty funny. Share that, dude.
I was gonna screen share, but I can't screen share.
Oh, really? I'll do it. Hold on.
I found another one as well. Yeah, like it's similar. It's like the spectrum. Autistic spectrum.
I forgot what we were saying about economics. Oh, like I'm not trying to brag, but I'm in a lot of debt. Okay, like that's how it works in America. Like, oh, that's a pretty good one. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
You got to share that one.
Let me screen share real quick.
I was looking for the one you was looking for, and then I found that, and I was like, this is kind of better.
There's a wealth of funny shit on the internet that's like very intellectual / funny.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is one of them. This is our what is this? Our internal chat. This is my chat with you guys. Yeah. So you're also seeing like my D&D group right now. And everybody else I kind of talk to on a semi-regular basis, right? Go to town, feds. Okay, so no
no step on snake.
no step on snake. That's funny shit. That'd be the Japanese version of it right there, dude.
Yeah, that's where I am.
Oh god, that's hilarious. Okay. I'm trying to scroll down on this window. Okay, so yeah, here's another version of this thing. And I'm just gonna go like this to see if I can screen share the whole damn thing. I'm just gonna share a different window that's like got it even bigger. Click it. Here we go. Okay. Big as hell, right? Not zoomable yet. Oh well. Everybody can read it. Boom.
Yep.
Okay, so this is hilarious. This who what? This is funny. Yeah, this is pretty good. Okay.
I'm somewhere on the borderline between decent people and libertarian filth.
Yeah, I'm somewhere between decent and hippie filth. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds about right. Yeah.
Between decent and hippie filth myself.
I like this one a lot.
Yeah.
I like this thing because it's so funny because it's written in like the. I'm not even sure who's writing this one. Oh, that's my family.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't get a message. Did I?
It's kind of half offensive but very accurate.
My family is home. I don't remember. I didn't receive a message at all. Well, that's the show, folks. That's how that goes. You didn't see the likes. We're screen sharing funny stuff. Let me find out where the hangout's at.
Yeah.
And we're off air. Oh, so I can get off air. No, we're not off air. We're still going. Haha! I can't get.